Hi guys. Okay, so this is part two of what myelofibrosis is and the symptoms. So make sure you watch part one. I'll link it right here if I can, and you can watch part one. So part two of symptoms of myelofibrosis. So the rashes came at the end of 2020, and I still get them. Like I actually need to like talk to my doctor about this, which might be another totally different video, but um, I still get them, not as bad as I did, but I still have pretty bad sensitive skin problems. I don't wear makeup anymore like I used to. I don't get my nails done. I don't get my lashes done. Like I used to be really high maintenance when it came to like taking care of things, and I can't like get massages or anything like that because I'm so sensitive to all the lotions and stuff. It's insane. I just break out into hives instantly. Um, so in February, I was coming home, and actually I was going to my grandmother's funeral and in Oklahoma, and I just started getting this really terrible headache. And I don't remember that I had it before February. I thought maybe it was because I had a tooth that had broken and then I needed to have it looked at. So I went to the emergency room because it was really, really bad. And I was like, I got to get pain meds. This sucks. And it was like the weekend when I got back from my grandmother's funeral, or like it was something like, it was nighttime, or I don't know, remember. It was like I couldn't get to the dentist that day or something like that. So I went to the emergency room, and they were just like, okay, it's a broken tooth. Here's some antibiotics and here's some pain meds. And they sent me home. And so I got on the pain meds, but then I started throwing up. Like this was the end of February and beginning of March. And I started throwing up. And that happened for a while. I hate to say that. Like I was really terrible to myself. I didn't do anything about this headache, you guys. I had a root canal done and I had a new crown put on, and the headache didn't go away. And I just kept getting more sick and more sick and more sick. And then my vision started to get impaired. And I was like, oh my God, I really have to go back to the hospital. So at the end of April, yes, you all, I waited to like, never again will I wait. Like headaches, rashes, um, vision impairment, hearing impairment, all of those things, just don't wait for. Hold on one second. Um, so yeah, so I don't play around with headaches. Like if you have a headache, it's not normal. If you have a stomach ache, it's not normal for a stomach ache or a headache to last longer than 2 weeks. Okay, I'm just saying, like it's not normal. Get it checked out and be pushy about it. Like be really pushy about it. Be pushy about getting it checked out. So I went to the emergency room, and they were giving me morphine for the pain because it was that bad. And they did a spinal tap to see if maybe I had meningitis. That came out clear. I was fine with that. And then they were like, we're going to admit you because we can't figure out what's wrong with you. So they admitted me. And then the night doctor that was in the hospital, um, said that she has seen these symptoms with women with blood clots in their brains. So we're going to do an MRI with contrast. So it was an MRV. They did an MRV with contrast. And that was the first scan at the end of April. And I had like 10 scans that week. And they found a blood clot in my vein, my brain. It was in the venous sinus. So they called it a DVT, a deep vein thrombosis. And they did all this blood work. And of course, admitted me, immediately put me on heparin for, the blood thinner. The next day I woke up, I had so much fluid on my brain that when they did the spinal tap and took the fluid off of my brain, I felt so much better. And so I didn't understand why the next day I was like back in that same amount of pain again. It was really, really bad. I had a lot of fluid on my brain because it couldn't drain out of this vein that was back here, or this cavity, right, that was back here. So I was in the hospital for a week. It was really scary. I had to wear sunglasses, and life was frightening for a while. And sorry, my partner's at the grocery store. And so he texts me sometimes, and asks me if those are the things that I want. So anyway, but yeah, so it was pretty frightening sometimes. And so I got home and I was on a cane. I didn't actually have a stroke, but I had to use a cane because my left side had a lot of weakness. And I, just the sun, just like even being inside with the lights on or anything was so painful. I had to end up going back to the emergency room several times because of the pain, because I was still just like, the pain was so bad I was throwing up everything all the time, and I was worried that I was having a stroke, and I don't think that I was, but I never did have a stroke, but it always felt like it was just horrible. It was a really traumatic time, and I still have memory loss from that time. Like it was just bad. So they found when I was there, they found that my platelets were over 1 million. They are supposed to be under 450,000 per amount of blood ratio or something. So under 450,000, and mine's over 1 million. Okay, that's not normal. So that's when they sent me to the oncologist, the hematologist oncologist, was scared the crap out of me to begin with. I sort of already had a feeling that I had cancer. So um, that was that was a big deal. I think I'm going to make that another video, is when I actually got my diagnosis. But those are the symptoms, like, the autoimmune, the rashes all over, the gaining a lot of weight was a big thing for me. And everybody's going to be different. Like, they're going to react to this disease differently every time. But like the main things are the blood, right? I had high white blood cells. I had really high platelets. My red blood cell count, my iron was really low. So yeah, it was just, I was a friggin' mess, and I had no idea. So then I had cancer. So like, I'm really big on everybody like making sure that they get themselves checked out. So yeah, that's my part 2. Thanks for hanging out with me. And the next video, I think I'm going to talk about how it was getting a diagnosis, especially at the age of 41. We'll talk about that later. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging. Bye.